transaction aligns with public interest and constitutional provisions. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, the status of investigations by the DCI into the complaints lodged by the county government of Kwale regarding the existence of multiple title deeds on the same parcel of land and any preliminary findings or actions taken. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Hamida.
My statement is on new food labeling rules. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health of a matter of national concern regarding the government's new food labeling rules aimed on tackling obesity and diet-related diseases. Mr. Speaker, sir, Kenya is a signatory of the WHO Global Action Plan on Non-Communicable Disease, NCDS, has committed to reducing premature mortality from NCDS through prevention and control measures, including healthier diets. The rise in obesity, particularly among children and youth in urban areas, poses a serious risk to public health and undermines these commitments. In response, the Ministry of Health, working with the Kenya Bureau of Standards, KEBS, has introduced mandatory food labeling regulations that require clear nutritional information on packaged foods covering sugar, salt, and fat content. Products with harmful levels of these ingredients will now carry front of pack warnings to guide consumer choice. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, strategies put in place by the Kenya Bureau of Standards, KEBS, to ensure full compliance with the new food labeling regulations by manufacturers and retailers. Number two, plans by the Ministry of Health to educate the public on how to interpret and use nutrition labels effectively. Number three, enforcement mechanism established by the Competition Authority of Kenya, CAC, to address misleading or non-compliant labels. Finally, measures being implemented to improve affordability and access to healthy food options, especially for low-income households. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Eddy, you may proceed with your statement pursuant to Standing Order 52.1. You read it as approved.
Yeah. As approved indeed, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank you for your courtesy, actually, because just like Senator Sifuna, Mr. Speaker, I was in the team that went to India to bring the remains of our departed leader and brother, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And I wouldn't participate better if I didn't put myself on record to just mourn together with our nation, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, thank you so much for allowing me to read this statement on the demise of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on a matter of national and international concern, namely the demise of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. It is never enough to continue sharing our sympathies and condolences to Mama Ida, Rosemary, Junior, Winnie, our brother Senator Oburu, and the larger Odinga family. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we have been mourning as a nation since the passing of Honorable Raila Odinga on 15th October 2025 in India, the somber mood that still engulfs our country has seen accolades and praise accorded to him in equal measure. In the solemn cries and wails of our people, this father of the nation has made a huge contribution to the life of our country and for generations to come. In the words of Shakespeare, through Mark Antony, today I too come to mourn Honorable Raila, not to praise him actually, for the good that people do is often interred with their bones, while the bad lives after them forever. I say so because at the time of his death, our country's younger generation was grappling with the concept and reality of broad-based government. a prudence of the enigma that holds our country together today. It was a daring move, which in his own words was the thin line between having an imperfect country struggling to mend its ways and a collapsed one. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is that daring spirit of Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga that has always been both a source of hope and fear for all of us. A source of hope because through him, our country could come together as one nation to have the hardest conversations despite our divisive differences, to shake hands despite our diversity, and sometimes to harness global respect as a united country. Yet a source of fear because up until his death, Mr. Speaker, he seemed to be the main glue that could hold us together, without which we could easily disintegrate into enclaves of ethnic interests, self-seeking demands by the political class, poor governance, and ultimately the erosion of commitment to public service. But I wish, as the courage, Mr. Speaker, and the commitment to dare to be a nation that he has left stronger than he found it when he was born on that 7th day of January, 1945. Mr. Speaker, sir, Raila Odinga challenged Kenya and Africa to dare and dream big with their natural and human resources. More often, when I traveled with him across the continent during and after his tenure as the African Union High Representative for Infrastructure, he saw and articulated the immense talent and treasure in all of us as African nations. He challenged us to stop exporting raw materials to the rest of the world, but instead invest in the value addition and local manufacturing to create jobs here on the continent in order to create for our young people and the rest of the generations opportunities in the continent. It challenged us to use our educated manpower as a bargaining chip to attract manufacturing to our countries, as China and India have done, places which he frequented the most, instead of subjecting our youth to torturous journeys across oceans in search for greener pastures. Mr. Speaker, sir, Raila also challenged Africa to have faith in itself and to allow its citizens to embrace one another through increased trade, less restrictive visa regimes, open skies, and transcontinental road and rail networks, things that he really did believe in. For me, Mr. Speaker, Raila grew from being a mythical Luo leader to a father of the nation figure, and then from the mythical Luo leader to the leader of my ODM party, and to a mentor, to a confidant, to a thought partner, and eventually, Mr. Speaker, to a true friend. In these capacities, Mr. Speaker, I got to learn of his greatest fears as well. One of his greatest fears was that through all forms of discriminations, whether based on tribe, race, religion, or gender, it would be impossible to build a lasting nationhood and institutions of inclusive and shared prosperity in Kenya if we continue with those discriminations. This bothered him immensely in every decision that he made about our country. He saw such divisions as barriers to progress and the biggest threat to the democratic and equality gains made since independence. He particularly loathed tribalism, believing it was stopping Kenya and Africa and many African countries from taking off towards first world status that would rival the Asian tigers. On the global stage, Mr. Speaker, Raila was eloquent as a voice for the review of the global order from the United Nations to the global financial architecture and North-South relations. He felt strongly that the global governance infrastructure established after the Second World War was no longer sustainable and needed a thorough review. Mr. Speaker, sir, I can go on and on, but the fact remains that even through our conclusive cries in mourning him, that his soul rests in peace. I doubt his spirit will ever rest in peace if we do not live up to some of these ideals that he lived for, Mr. Speaker. I doubt Raila's spirit will rest in peace if we do not strengthen devolution, for instance, by allocating adequate resources to devolve functions and ensure that governors use them prudently to improve the lives of our people, as he urged us on that day of May 22nd, 2025, when he visited this house. Mr. Speaker, I doubt his spirit will rest in peace if we do not realize the 10-point broad-based agenda, including compensation of victims of protest and expansion of economic opportunities for young people in government. Mr. Speaker, I doubt his spirit will rest in peace if as a nation we do not uphold democratic processes and institutions such as transparent and peaceful elections. Mr. Speaker, sir, just as Jesus Christ suffered and died for the salvation and good life of Christians, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga went through the most dangerous street battles so that never again should the younger generation experience any kind of brutalities in the streets in the quest for justice and dignity for humanity. The continuous work towards a more just, globally competitive, equal, and equitable nations are the ultimate Raila ideals, whose achievement will ultimately rest his soul in peace. These are ideals which, in the words of Nelson Mandela, I hope to personally live for and achieve. And I hope we will also live for and achieve. But if need be, there are ideals for which I am prepared to die. And I hope you too are prepared to die. For now, may he rest in peace, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Faki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on behalf of Senator Issa Juma Boy of Kwale County, and I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the impending eviction of approximately 12,000 residents of Wasini Island in Kwale County. Following the decision of the National Commission NLC to restore the parcel of land originally registered as plot number W33/Wasini Island to the family of the late Sagafa Alawi. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the statement, the decision by NLC has triggered public demonstration by the affected residents, some of whom possess title deeds and have occupied the land for several decades. In the statement, the committee should address the following. The total acreage of the parcel of land that was the subject of the petition to the National Land Commission, NLC, by members of the late Sagaf family. And number two, whether the parcel of land had been previously adjudicated and allocated to other people through formal process. And if so, address whether the government will compensate the affected allottees who are facing eviction. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Issa Juma Boy, Kwale County.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 57-1. The Senate Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know these days social media is very vibrant and robust. So let me make it clear that I'm reading on behalf of the leader of the majority. I am not the leader of the majority. Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to Standing Order number 57-1, I hereby present the business for the week commencing Tuesday, 4th November 2025. As you already have observed in your communication on Tuesday, 28th October 2025, part 4 of the fourth session will indeed be a very short one. This calls for a certain degree of urgency to conclude business pending before the Senate. As honorable senators will note from today's order paper, there are several bills at various stages awaiting division, as well as motions awaiting the question to be put. I call upon all honorable senators to prioritize plenary sittings for the Senate to conclude these businesses. I also urge that we redouble our collective and individual effort in a bid to dispense with business before the Senate. In this respect, I take this opportunity to applaud the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources for processing and concluding 8 petitions, tabling reports, and filing motions thereon, 4 of which are in today's order paper for question putting. Mr. Speaker, turning to the business before the Senate, the status is as follows. 61 bills are pending conclusion, of which 44 are at second reading stage, while 15 are at the Committee of the Whole and 2 are at first reading stage. 38 motions are pending conclusion, 19 petitions are pending conclusion, out of which 15 are due for reporting by respective standing committees, and 466 statements pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 are being considered by respective standing committees. On Tuesday, 4th November, the Senate committee will meet to consider the business for the week. The tentative business for that day will include business not concluded from today's order paper, as well as business that will be indicated in the notice paper. The tentative business for morning sitting Wednesday, 5th November 2025 will include the scheduled questions to Cabinet Secretaries as approved by the Senate Business Committee, as well as motions. The questions in bill, the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, the Culture Bill, the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Amendment Bill, the Kenya National Councils for Population and Development Bill, the Electronic Equipment Disposals, Recycling and Reuse Bill, the Energy Amendment Bill, and the Health Amendment Bill. The Sports Amendment Bill, the Public Fundraising Appeals Bill, the Heritage and Museums Bill, the Environmental Laws Amendment Bill, the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, the County Government's Allocation Laws Amendment Bill, the Sports Amendment Bill, again, the County Civic Education Bill. It will also include, Mr. Speaker, several motions, namely the installation of CCTV cameras in all police stations, cells, and police reporting desks, provision of integrated financial management information system, reports for county governments to the Senate, mainstreaming gender perspectives in legislative and policy processes, establishment of a policy to regulate artificial intelligence and innovation in Kenya, and secondary schools from primary schools. Finally, but not least, Mr. Speaker, there will be the motion for the projected business. The projected business for Tuesday, 6th November 2025 will include business not concluded from Wednesday order paper and any other business scheduled by the Senate Business Committee. I thank you, and hereby, on behalf of the Leader of the Majority, Aaron Cheruiyot, EGH MP, I lay the statement. Thank you.
Now, honorable senators, I will allow comments for not more than 15 minutes. So if you get a chance to speak, kindly do so for not more than 3 minutes. The Honorable Enoch Wamboa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to make a brief comment on the statement sought by Senator Okiya Omtata on the privatization status of Webuye Pan paper. The Speaker, it will be important for the committee to which this statement is committed to clear the air about a very fundamental question that the senator has sought to clarify whether this was actually a sale or it was a lease. Because the information of the Speaker that is out there in the public is that Pan Paper was acquired by Talochan Limited, a subsidiary of the Rai Group, at a cost of 900 million Kenya shillings in 2016. And the Speaker, going by public conversations around Pan Paper, it would appear that it was an absolute sale, that deal was closed and Pan Paper went to Rai Group. And so what they do with it then becomes their own private business. Mr. Speaker, this question is important coming at a time that there are national conversations around the privatization of the Kenya Pipeline Company. Mr. Speaker, as a leader in this house, as a leader in this country, I just want to caution us, all of us, including myself, leaders in this country, that this appetite for privatization of public assets, especially strategic assets, is not a good thing for us now, it's not a good thing for the future. I say this, Mr. Speaker, because I hear that the argument being put forward for the privatization of the Kenya Pipeline Company is that we want to finance, to support the budget for 2025-2026. Mr. Speaker, after we have privatized and sold part of KPC to private investors, and we have financed the budget for 2025-2026, what will we sell to finance the budget for 2026, 2027, and 2027-2028? Mr. Speaker, you cannot be selling assets to finance national budgets. The best thing to do is to cut our shirts according to the size of our cloth. If the budgets are too huge, then let us forego expenditures today and work hard to bake a bigger national cake. The option, the Speaker, not be selling national assets to finance budgets.
Senator Chiranke.
Mr. Speaker, can I get, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't know why the podium guys are excited. But Mr. Speaker, let me say the following. One, I want to thank the ODM Secretary General for bringing this statement on teachers. Senator Sifuna, I agree that it is very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that teachers have always to make noise and go for strike for their allowances to be paid. Yet it is budgeted, Mr. Speaker. What is the work of Teacher Service Commission, Mr. Speaker? These are small matters. If we are bringing upscaling allowances of teachers who went to participate in East Africa Secondary Schools games in Kakamega, Mr. Speaker, it is very unfortunate. Mr. Speaker, one of the professions that is attacked from all angles, Mr. Speaker, are teachers. You remember we fought in this house against the scrapping of hardship allowances, Mr. Speaker, that was amounting to 6 billion, Mr. Speaker. You remember, Mr. Speaker, every teacher that retires in this country, for the ex-crusher allowances or payment upon retirement to be paid, Mr. Speaker, they must run around for almost 3 months to be paid, Mr. Speaker. Even in the extraneous allowances, Mr. Speaker. I agree even the marking. Imagine after finishing marking exams, teachers have to make a lot of noise for the allowances to be made, Mr. Speaker. I think it is unfair to teachers. I agree with this statement that even by the time, and I wish the Chair of Education would have been here, to issue even a progress report by next week, Mr. Speaker, I request for your indulgence, because it's a small matter. It is just the TSC to pay teachers their allowances. It is as simple as that, Mr. Speaker. Finally, on the issue of rye, Mr. Speaker, and Webuye and paper mills, is some people have selective amnesia. They are not saying that during privatization of this company, it was under President Uhuru Kenyatta. We have just inherited assets and liabilities, Mr. Speaker. And I want to say on the floor of this house, because I'm speaking after Deputy Minority Leader, that the government, when we pass the Privatization Act, Mr. Speaker, it does not mean the government sells the entire state-owned. Mr. Speaker, all of it, the government retains the stake, like Kenya Pipeline and many others, Mr. Speaker. We are also lying to Kenyans because, Mr. Speaker, most of the suckers, the parastatals, all of them are making losses, including KICC, Mr. Speaker. I saw they were making 4 billion loss or plus. A number of parastatals are not necessary for this country, Mr. Speaker. We must allow the government to privatize, Mr. Speaker. We have also PPPs, acts, public-private partnership, Mr. Speaker. It is in the interest of the country that a number of these state-owned that are making losses, Mr. Speaker, must and should be privatized for the sanity and stability of the economy, Mr. Speaker. Let us leave the politics outside what we want to achieve as a country. I don't think our future generations will be happy, Mr. Speaker, if we continue to have state-owned institutions that make losses, Mr. Speaker. I yield.
Senator Kavindu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to support this statement by Senator of Nairobi about teachers. Mr. Speaker, it has really been long for teachers. Every time they want an increment, every time they want any promise that has been made to them to be fulfilled, they have to go on demonstration. Mr. Speaker, it's a high time because everybody, including even the highest top seat in this country of a president to the least, they all pass through the teachers. And teachers are very important people to this country, and not only to this country, to the world. Because without teachers, then we cannot be able to do what we do best. Mr. Speaker, it's always good to do what the teachers want and give them what they want so that they can be able to work. Some of them are working under very difficult conditions, especially those who are working in hardship areas. And yet, even for hardship allowances, they have to demonstrate, they have to go on strike so that they can be given their hardship allowances. And even when they go on retire, Mr. Speaker, some of them end up dying even before getting their gratuity and all this. And it is important to mind about the teachers. Mr. Speaker, I also want to comment about the statement about privatization of companies and even private companies. Mr. Speaker, like in Machakos, I have an issue with a land issue where the chair or the chairman of the company, that is Matungulu Farmers Cooperative Society company, wants to make it a private company for himself. Mr. Speaker, and that company is owned by 114 people who are supposed to be members of that company. And he wants to privatize it with only 46 people whom he has given shares. Mr. Speaker, this is going to harm and hurt so many Kenyans. And so, Mr. Speaker, this one I don't support. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, allow me to rearrange the sequence here of today's order paper. We will come back to comments after we have dealt with order number 10, 11, 12, and 13. Clerk, proceed to call those orders.
Order number 10, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Peter Kangwaru Nyaga regarding the plight of landless in Muzantara, Embu County. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 29th October afternoon sitting. Question to be put.
Clerk, do we have the requisite quorum? Yes, we do. Okay, I'll proceed to put the question. That the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Kangwaru Nyaga regarding the plight of
land by Holy Rosary Catholic Parish, Mwanda. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 29th October 2025 afternoon sitting. Question to be put.
Honorable Senators, I now put the question that the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources Mr. Robin Kalama and other residents of Marungu in Taita Taveta County concerning threatened eviction from the ancestral land by Holy Rosary Catholic Parish, Mwanda, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, the 7th of October, 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 12, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by representatives of Mwandabusi land squatters in Bobaracho Ward in Kisii County concerning delayed allocation of alternative land. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 29th October 2025 afternoon sitting. Question to put.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by representatives of Mabundusi land squatters in Bobaracho Ward in Kisii County concerning delayed allocation of alternative land by way of resettlement or compensation for the ancestral land that was alienated by Government of Kenya for creation of the Kisii Agricultural Institute and Kisii Farmers Training Center laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 7th of October, 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 13, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Najib Shamsan and other petitioners concerning recognition of land ownership rights and redress of historical injustices in Mombasa County. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 29th October 2025, afternoon sitting. Question to be put.
Honorable Senators, I now put the question that the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Najib Shamsan and others concerning recognition of land ownership rights and redress of historical injustices in Mombasa County, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, the 7th of October 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We will now resume comments on the statement sought. Senator A.C. Okenyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. I wish to weigh into Senator Sifuna's statement. Senator Sifuna's statement on the delayed payment, Mr. Speaker, paints a feeling of frustration and exploitation, Mr. Speaker. I have personally grown up in the house of a teacher, and the challenges I had then are the challenges we are experiencing right now. So, Mr. Speaker, I do not know, is the problem successive governments or we just don't need teachers? Mr. Speaker, worse still, right now lecturers are on strike. Students in campus who are to sit for the examinations are at home, and the fear is these students might not graduate, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I would wish that the committee that is going to look into this weighty statement by Senator Sifuna also focuses on the basis of the current payment of allowances, especially for the teachers who are marking examinations. Because like now, even the ones who are supervising, who just finished supervising KPSEA examinations, someone is being paid 1,600 shillings for 4 days, and they have to travel from either Nyamarambe to Etago, that's in Kisi. The distance does not match whatever those teachers are being compensated, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and lastly, we even have the teachers, the science teachers, who are supervising practicals, Mr. Speaker. They are not being compensated in any way, and they spend lots of their time trying to ensure that all the processes go very well, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, NEC continues to frustrate and punish teachers because even in where we have issues of allegations of cheating, NEC is issuing blanket condemnation of even innocent teachers who are then stopped from attending marking, Mr. Speaker, and I fail to understand how fair is this, Mr. Speaker. NEC needs to wake up and address the challenges of teachers so that we are not lamenting year in, out. Why would someone mark examinations of your child at home and have to wait for a very long time to get their dues? And whatever dues they are waiting for are peanuts, Mr. Speaker. So these are issues we really need the Committee of Education to look at and furnish this House with the real issues that or solutions to some of the issues I've raised in supporting Senator Sifuna's statement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make some brief comments on two statements. First, I'll begin with the statement by the distinguished senator from Busia County in regards to the issue of pan paper mill. Mr. Speaker, if my memory serves me right, the Webuye paper mill was sold in 2016 after being idle for 6 years, I think 9 years.
It's brought from my desk.
And was wallowing in debt, and it was sold to a private entity. The role of the government was simple: to facilitate the transaction because it was already with a receivership. So we wait for about 10 more years to be able to raise a question about it. Is that not really interfering with the private entity? In fact, the only role the government had there was only to facilitate, to create, to give licenses and to create a good environment for business. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether the distinguished senator was really advised on this statement, because then how are you going to ask a private entity who paid 900 million on what they have done with the investment? I mean, seriously, we have to be serious on certain questions. Mr. Speaker, the second statement that I want to comment on is an amazing statement by Senator Hamida. I want to request Senator Hamida on her statement on the issue of rapid test for sickle cell. I know for a fact that the authority to approve the use of rapid test equipment is with the Poison and Pharmacy Board, which is regulated under the Poisons and Pharmacy Boards Act. It is, yes, it is under the ministry, but it is the Poison and Pharmacy Board that approves, and the ministry only recommend the use of these things. So it would be important that when the Senate Committee on Health is investigating this matter, to be able to address directly the Poison and Pharmacy Board, because it's a semi-autonomous entity. You know, whether it's being disbanded or not, but the fact that it was established under, I think, if my memory serves me right, I think it is under the CAP. It's under the Pharmacy and Poisons Act, CAP 224. So if we're going to repeal that section of the law and then come up with a new, but as we speak right now, those are the only people who can be able to give us answers. So, Mr. Speaker, it is important on the first statement that we really, and I want to request the Secretariat to be giving us, to be assisting us understand the importance of the feedback that we get back from the committees. A private entity should be allowed to just do the work privately. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kenyo.
Asante Bwana Spika kunipa fursa hii. Nataka kuchangia kwa taarifa ambayo imeletwa na Seneta wa Nairobi Sifuna na kusema kwamba Bwana Spika, walimu wanafanya kazi ambayo ni ya muhimu sana katika jamii, na ikiwa hawatalipwa marupurupu yao baada ya kufanya zile kazi zao, Bwana Spika, wanakuwa kivunjwa moyo. Kwa hivyo utawapata wakifanya zile kazi wakiwa wana utepetevu kwa sababu tayari malipo yao hawayapati. Bwana Spika, ukitembelea sehemu nyingi, hata zile wanazofanyia kazi zile, si sehemu ambazo ni nzuri sana kwa sababu wanaamka mapema. Ukitembea pengine sehemu kama za Laikipia, unapata wanapoenda pale shuleni wanapatana na ndovu, wanyama wengine wa polini. Kwa hivyo wanafanya kazi hizi kwa mazingara ambayo ni magumu sana. Kwa hivyo wanapaswa kulipwa marupurupu yao, Bwana Spika, kwa sababu wao ndio wana msingi wa mambo mengi ambayo yanatendeka, kwa sababu wengi wanapitia katika mikono yao, wawe ni madaktari, mawakili ama watu walifikia katika nyadhifa mbalimbali, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo walimu wanapaswa kuheshimiwa kwa mazingara yao.